Orange Raven brands against Hansama, Ash Nico. Okay, back to 14.1. This is a little bit of a whiplash moment. We're just going to be going back and forth between patches.
So I think that's also a high prior champ we should be on the lookout for.
Yeah, but there's so many possibilities.
Vi first, okay. Interesting, considering Resorg has a lot of opportunities. Instead, that gets Varus Jin Zhao taken.
And he was looking at how they do it in the LCK, for instance.
Yeah, there it has a lot of success in the...
Various Nautilus lanes are interesting, but this makes at least slightly more sense considering the Ashe has already been taken. Or banned, excuse me.
Kind of roam well into bot side. I think it could end up a disaster for Fnatic. So,
well, and Nico's already been banned, so
on the side of Caps, I think it frees up. I feel like there's a champ that we're missing right now.
Poppy. Are we trying to pick Jax here for Fnatic?
I'm not buying
because in terms of,
I would.
So I'm thinking maybe they're cooking up a Kali flex here. Depends.
Why are we banning Poppy top?
On the top, that also
Oh, there it is. Well, we answered our own question. There it is.
Kind of funny. I think we shouldn't be
That's why we're banning Poppy.
I think flexing Kali into Jax matchup one time when it was MDK playing against Common Corp and Vladimir.
Really?
Cool, the BB pick right there.
And I was actually wondering.
All right, that is a Broken Blade classic pickup in the top lane. Into Jax, pull out of Counter-Strike, harass him in lane, get huge. Interesting.
Also really good against Milio.
Cool.
Milio can't really kind of do anything with his ulti. It doesn't have anything to cleanse. It's only Varus ult this game. So with the Vladimir,
Indeed. Naja fan. Nietzsche was not a nihilist. He did not like nihilists, in fact. He was not a fan of the nihilism.
That they have a lot of counter damage coming in from the Vladimir and the Akali on the back line.
Any predictions, guys, before we hustle? Alright, two Fnatic vote on the side. We'll see what the casters have to say about this for a match of the week. Take it away, guys.
But this is an absolute banger, so I don't feel too. I have to see how this one unfolds. Do anything. I remember it.
Jesus was also not a Christian. True. He was a Jew. I have not finished Baldur's Gate 3, tragically. I didn't have time before the season started, and now I just do this, so... And I have a newborn, so GL to me, ever finishing Baldur's Gate 3. It's a fucking great game, though. Love it.
Yeah, also then, like, Hextech Protobelt being super cheap means you can get, like, a 2-item spike super quick, you can position super well with it, get access to backline with the Protobelt. Like, a lot of stuff kind of just worked for Vladimir. So I'm excited to see if... how BB's going to pilot this one. In the matchup as well, like having that pool to dodge away from Jax every time he jumps on, he's just super nice. Yeah. Obviously get away from the stun. As you go later in the game, Vladimir notoriously outscales so much of what is in the pool.
Broken Blade with a Nuggery tech.
This one, people have been thinking about Vladimir with the changes to Riftmaker, because getting the extra Omnivamp is obviously just...
What, with Aerie?
Heal a bunch off of all their spells and stuff.
Also, Leandri's not having mana components anymore makes it such an easy pickup for Vladimir as well.
Yeah, also then, like, Hextech Protobelt being super cheap.
Monty, if a friend approaches you to ask help burying a body, who would that friend be? I don't really understand the question. Probably somebody you don't even know. Would I ever stream BG3? Man, you missed it. Holy moly, I did. With Doa. It's probably Loco, you know. Loco would just, like, accidentally kill someone, panic, and then ask everybody how to bury the body. That's what he would do.
Scales so much of what is in the game. You're going to get a big damage amp off the ultimate on top of his already pretty solid damage. It's a lot of innate tankiness in terms of health pool. I don't know how many people have seen this champion. I don't think I've... Even ARAM.
You know it's true, guys.
40 games of League of Legends, I do not think I've seen of Vladimir. So
he would accidentally get somebody killed and then freak out. And, like, show up at your door and, like, Monty, I don't know how to bury a body. Help me. Help me. That's 100% how it would go. And then I would roll my eyes and help him.
For now, we go bot lane. And, yeah, you expect the Milio-Lucian to get a lot of work done, but this pick has been a bit cursed. Outside of Exakick, nobody else has won on Lucian. See if Noah can change that today.
Yeah, I think a huge amount of it is, like, how teams have been setting up for Illusion when it comes to how do we actually want to play for team fights to make sure that the culling is getting value. You're hitting multiple people with the piercing light. He's got a strong front line in front of him. A huge amount of it is trying to play around choke points. I mean, as you can, like, the map has been changed to have a lot of these little chokes that if you can contest, actually hold on to this point.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Sidestep there.
But
Good
yeah,
damage.
if you can try and play for these choke points and have a ton of opportunities to get the culling off into multiple people, that's where you want to play is
humanoid.
Caps.
Level 3 for Caps, timed very nicely there.
Whoop.
Trying to get something back in that trade as he does just in time level up on the shuriken flip, but Humanoid not scared whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with the Akali. It can be kind of tough to match up against Humanoid. Oftentimes you want to try and use the Shroud to farm, but Humanoid can kind of sit there with the Gatling gun. His Phosphorus Bomb takes up a huge amount of space as well. So it's not exactly like the Shroud is a safe space for Akali in a lot of these trades, but Caps feel fine for the moment. Might have to go for a quick reset, especially because the wave isn't in the best of spots.
Mickey X stepping up. The hook now gonna
Oh, the surprise Razork.
out to safety, but Hansama continuing to trade pretty aggressively onto Noah and winning out on that trade. Mickey gonna level up. Meanwhile, Yike on the way down to the bottom lane. Level 4. Shouldn't step too much further forward. It is Mickey's flash and Hansama's heal traded just for the heal of Jun. So overall positive trade from Fnatic. They've also got Prio in the bot lane if they want to fight for it.
Just going to look for a reset instead, make sure that they're okay. Now the Caps knows that Razork is on that bottom side. He's going to heavily shove in mid to try and get a reset himself as well. Razork, though, as you can see, trying to move in towards mid just to make sure that he can ensure Caps is walking away. But
Oh. Can they try and turn this one? They're just going to try to follow up. Trying to body block rather the Vault Breaker, forcing the flash out from Razork. So well played by the side of G2 against small incremental advantages there. Razork a bit eager. He was able to grab the bot side Scuttle Crab. Thought maybe he could double crab in that context.
yeah, we're just kind of surprised that because Broken Blade has a lot of control up in this top side. You can see Wave pushed in, got Oscar into about half HP. So kind of surprised to see that he was trying to go for the double scuttle on that side rather than just taking a safer route and ends up paying for it. But you can see BB having a great time here. Level 9 is where this Vladimir really starts to take off, having access to the full amount of the heal on his Q, and even with the summon area as well, you can see the poke is just so obnoxious. It's so difficult for Oscar to try and deal with them.
Yeah, it's important to remember that your max and Q.
All right, round 2. Mickey X no flash.
Your damage and your sustain, but Mickey's been caught out now. Has no flash. Can't try to hook to safety.
Razork is still level 3.
They're hoping to finish the job. What? They wanted to give that kill to Noah so bad. I thought the third auto from Razork for sure was going to come through.
Yeah, and kind of.
The lower that Q cooldown goes, it's your damage and your sustain. But Mickey's been caught out now. Has no flash. Can't try to hook to safety. But again, Jun, beautiful body blocks here. They're hoping to finish the
Yeah,
job.
what the heck was that? I don't think he gets it, even though he procs W on the third auto.
Wanted to give that kill to Noah so
I don't think he
bad.
gets it, but even so.
It's gonna come through.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it didn't, to be honest.
It's boot stiff. It's actually boot stiff. Mickey has boot. That's the most valuable boots purchase I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mickey will have to go back to base again, though, feeling like he's playing base builder a little bit at this stage. Where now gonna have
5 minutes in, Razork at level 3.
Another reset, which is surprising because I don't even know if they'll have go pick up second longsword or anything. Oh, they should actually to match, but
Yeah, gonna be level 5 soon.
Razork getting some opportunity to be active on the map while he's waiting for those top camps to respawn.
Yeah. Broken Blade continue to play aggressively. Again, better wave clear than Jax at this stage of the game.
G2 read the Poppy ban really well, by the way, because they suspected, as I did, that the Poppy ban meant top Jax, so they saved top for R5 and then just have this counter pick loaded up.
We'll see if there's any special tech that Oscar wants to bring to the table.
Yeah, I'd imagine Thunder Sky. Like, the other option is that we've seen a lot of Titanic Hydra, but I just don't think you kind of need it in this matchup. Should be all right as G2 setting up on this bottom side. I think with the wave pushing out, though, it's more to make sure that Hansama can actually crash this wave safely rather than go for anything else, as Razork is going to take the Void Grubs. But I kind of like this from G2, because one of the things I've noticed a lot when I'm watching G2 is Yike will communicate, hey, I want to go for Void Grubs, but it's oftentimes when Hansama and Mickey X have a pushing wave out, like we just saw, and then it's Hansama and Mickey that get punished on bot side. So not going for the Void Grubs on top side, instead going, hey, I'll be there to make sure you can push out and go for Dragon. I actually kind of prefer, because I think so often we're seeing teams getting punished on this bounce back wave when the jungler goes for Void Grubs.
I think a really good call out. Of course, Fnatic are able to match. It is Void Grubs traded for the Drake. But currently it's already almost a 300 gold lead for Hansama. It will start to even up a bit, but now the dive coming through. Mickey starting to walk up here. Ignite going down just to kick things off and take tower aggro. Mickey still tanking tower. Mickey likely to fall here. It'll be a 1-for-1 thus far. Jun still standing, level 6. Just in time for Hansama. There's got to be no way Milio can get out of this one. Big damage coming in from G2 on the bottom side. Double kill for Yike.
Nicely
Pretty
done
nice
by
job.
G2. Mickey falls, but that wave gone and the plate's going across, plus the kill, you're going to be more than happy.
Yeah, June got the kill too, so it's not so bad.
He could actually tank it up, and then hooking onto Noah actually cost him his life, but at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. Jun flashes away, but still ends up giving his life. I think he kind of just needs to accept his fate, honestly, in this one.
Yeah, difficult exchange, most certainly. The fact that it was Grubs traded on the top side for multiple kills on the bottom side on top of the Dragon means that trade heavily favors G2. And again, we're in a situation where the Lucian not able to take over the bot lane in the early stages. It is hard against Varus. It's especially hard against Lethality Varus. But we're going to have to see if that changes around the one-item break.
Jin does have Doran's Blade. Interesting.
Press the attack. It's really about
Really just wants that early aggression and skirmishing, I guess.
370 gold lead for Hansama. Plus, he got the advantage now, being able to control bot side. Jun could be in trouble. They might need to walk away from this G2, though. Yeah.
But you can see just half his health in an instant there. Hansama doesn't even have a completed item yet. That is the power of the Lethality Varus, especially with Hail of Blades. Luckily, Razork in the area to cover the point-and-click ultimate. Going to be fantastic to have. Hansama really going to be the one that is most vulnerable to that.
And I think we're going to see a continuation of, hey, trying to use your own point-and-click CC for G2 when Mickey has access to it to try and turn around. Yike is on top side, which is why you're seeing Fnatic play so heavily onto this bot side, look for the invade, steal away the blue. Caps, though, might be in a bad spot. I don't think he realizes that Razork is in the area.
Blue going down. He's going to full commit here. Both half of the Shuriken flip for a bit of extra damage. Needs to be ready to ult out to safety, but should just drop flash back to Yike.
No shroud.
Trying to find a turn kill. Caps now going in. Sidestep. Razork now.
Oh no.
He absolutely does not win. Vault Breaker will just barely take him out of safety. Join in the area, but Caps dashing in at the last moment. The 5-point strike. A 1-kill strike as Hansama will immediately follow with the second. Vault Breaker will just barely safety, but should just get dropped. Flash back to.
It's nice job by Caps pulling Razor back during the ultimate.
Caps now going in. Sidestep. Razork now caught in a 1v1 versus Yike. A 1v1 he absolutely does not win. Vault Breaker will just barely take him out of safety. Join in the area, but Caps dashing in at the last moment. The 5-point strike. A 1-kill strike as Hansama will immediately follow with the second.
A 2-for-1 turns into a 2-for-2, and then suddenly the rest of G2 are there as well. G2 respond perfectly with Hans and Mickey roaming up, managing to get those kills across to Caps and Yike.
Caps playing on the edge, but has the jungler there to support him. Good on Yike. I mean, if Yike is not there in that instance, it could all fall apart, but able to leverage Yike.
The tier does a lot of damage. What are you talking about? It's tier and null magic mantle. Great damage items.
Good on Yike. I mean, if Yike is not there in that instance, it could all fall apart, but able to leverage Yike's advantage almost as his own.
I like that Caps went in early here, though, because to try and get Humanoid low means that he's not able to follow up on this play. You can see flash away, Caps barely surviving off the Phosphorus Bomb. And Razork, you can see him considering going for Caps off that cube, but ends up walking away, thinking, hey, I've got Jun here. Cozy Campfire should be enough, but not quite. And then it ends up with Yike being able to follow up onto Jun as well, giving 2 kills across the G2. So the fact that Caps went aggressive at the get-go means that Humanoid just doesn't have the follow-up that Fnatic were kind of expecting to have in that situation.
Now, I think a bit frustrating. I think for Humanoid, you know, he flashes back trying to survive in that instance, and I think that if he opts not to flash, he probably one-for-ones with Caps. You saw how low Caps' health got, but it sort of feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of scenario. Now both mid laners are flashless. This certainly favors Caps if they do go for the all-in 1v1. Hex Drinker early on for Humanoid is big. Obviously one of the most frustrating parts about these Corki matchups is the ability to just buy Hex Drinker against any burst champion.
Yeah, and I think it'll help out Humanoid massively in this matchup, but it's got to be tough for Humanoid, like, playing into this matchup. I mean, Caps has 23 to the 19 wins of Humanoid in this matchup specifically, and it's got to be in your head a little bit for Humanoid to be like, I want to go up against Caps, I want to try and beat him, but Caps already drawn first blood. Fnatic are going to have to try and make sure that Caps isn't going to try and run away with this game on the Akali.
And I think for Humanoid especially, if we look back at, you know, yesterday's games and now what feels like a similar situation to today's games is we'll wait a moment. Dive coming through on the bottom side. Ulti onto Noah. Instant cleanse coming out from Jun, trying to buy as much time as he can for his carry. Noah still standing. Caps potentially sticking around too long. Lockdown there. Caps just about to get popped.
Oh my god.
Rocket, can he get the job done? Humanoid looking for a bit of vengeance.
Oh.
Tied up the kills there on the bottom side is Oscar now full committing to the play. Vladimir continuing to push on the top.
Yeah, but Oscar actually had a TP bot for that. Broken Blade is going crazy in top lane.
There's nothing there for Fnatic. Mickey wants to keep going though. Jun caught.
No ulti available. Jun should just get popped here. Noah backing away, getting lower and lower. And
Jeez.
taking down Noah. That is the power.
Yo, Moose.
He's got the hands, he's got the kill. Hans Hammer manages to make sure that he's able to pick that one up off in the back. Fnatic taking so much damage. Mickey may not be done yet, Jun.
Meanwhile, played in the top side.
TP once more. We're going
Another
to get-
TP coming in for Humanoid.
They're just able to back away.
He's got package.
Has to be a double. Flash over from Hans Sama. Humanoid locked up. They're trying to kill him as quick as they can.
Oh, Mickey X will just live through anything.
What is that health bar on Mickey? I don't know how he managed to survive that, especially being on the package from the get-go. But that heal was clutch. And here we'll see it. G2 trying to set up for a play on bot side. Noah immediately getting the cleanse coming through from Jun. Means that he's able to follow up. And Mickey, they're just able to
Go as he can for his carry. Noah's still standing. Caps.
So the thing about replays, guys.
Similar situation to today's games is we'll wait.
So I want you to take a look at this.
Bottom side, ulti onto Noah. Instant cleanse coming out from Jun, trying to buy as much time as he can for his carry. Noah's still standing. Caps potentially sticking around too long.
So you'll notice, I want you to watch how this play unfolds with the camera work. So it goes up, and the camera's really zoomed out. Then it drifts over to Oscar and in.
And he's almost dead.
There's nothing there for Fnatic. Mickey wants to keep going though. Jun caught.
No ulti available. Jun should just get popped here. Noah backing away, getting lower and lower.
He's able to pick that one
And it kind of just comes in at the end, because the reason why I'm showing you this, guys, is because this is the effect of not having more than one observer. Okay?
What is that health bar on Mickey?
Because the way that League of Legends obsing works is that when you have multiple observers in the game, there's like a timeline that you can scrub along at the bottom, so that one observer can, like, while the live observer continues observing live, the other observers can kind of go back and find new and interesting angles or way to put together the replays. It's not like a sports replay where they just take the footage of the camera operator, but that's exactly what you're seeing here.
And here we'll see it. G2 trying to set up for a play on bot side. Noah immediately getting the
So there's some slow-mo, obviously, in this one, but it is essentially exactly the same camera work. Because, like, this is now going to go up. You'll see Caps die. Then it's going to pan over to the Oscar and engage. So they add some slow-mo to this. But it is this exact same camera work that was done before, because now they just have a replay machine operator instead of having a different observer going back to do the replays. So when we talk about LEC production and, like, the ways in which the production has been made worse, this is what we're talking about.
Piercing arrow doing so much damage, and I think you can see in these tense moments that the coordination from G2 is just better. They instantly turn, they all fire on the same target.
All they did was add some slowdown. And I think, sometimes they do replays like that, but it's every replay is going to be like that.
Just not there in these last few plays, and already we're seeing 2.5K gold lead.
Every LCK does multi-obs. Everybody does multi-obs, except for LEC now, I guess.
Maybe if Fnatic can get the next spawn of the grubs here on the top side, they can start to push down some of these towers, even things out. But another Drake going in favor of G2 only further pushes things in their favor.
And Yike isn't done. 3-0-3 to Sonic Hydronet completely. He wants to try and use that advantage.
Ulti now coming down. Jun immediately going to try to cleanse this one away. Razzing the back, taking him down. And Noah getting the full culling. Full channel. Fnatic looking to fire back. Mickey now flashing out to safety. Yike on the run. Noah dashing forward. Empowered by Jun. Wants to turn. Knows that he's already dead. Has to try to take one with him. Ulti blocking some of that damage. Noah still marked up. One more dash. Will it come through?
So
Taken out. Huge
very dangerous there with the Jhin ult.
Fnatic finding great fights there. Noah walking around the corner in culling range. There's nowhere really for Hans Sama to go, so he just gets gunned down. And then you're able to
Having worked in the Juryman collegiate scene for some years, including with some of the Riot obs, baffled by their decision. Yeah, I don't get it, man. Meanwhile, I have absolute plebs on Twitter being like, Monty, what are you talking about? The production quality didn't change at all. I'm like, all right. I mean, I can notice it. And they also, as I said, had to literally fly in a bunch of people from Dublin so that it didn't immediately everything break. So they did actually have to get more bodies on site to replace the people they fired and pay for their hotels and plane tickets and everything like that. And then we also just have a observably worse production quality.
And not fully commit to this top side objective.
Backing away. Of course, for Oscar, it's so hard because, again, you can see Broken Blade's been left alone for 30 seconds. He's full health again.
Nice.
Yeah, Oscar wins out on the burst trades, but if he doesn't have the support to go for the all-in, it's really easy to see how it can all fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you just keep digging and you never actually.
Why not just remove the CEOs who are eating a lot of the budget? I mean, they didn't fire anybody
The damage is gonna
at the
start
top end of esports for some reason.
BB,
Fucking weird,
which I
right?
think hit the
Really
level
fucking
12.
weird.
Well, it's gonna take over to level 12, but I think once he gets the
None of the management got fired.
He's just becoming so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, because the Riftmaker's there. That's all that additional sustain. Already so much for Vladimir. Now all of G2 looking to clap on Oscar. Razork is in the area, but I think he just needs to get out. Cap's coming over the wall. Ulti going down here early. That's the Hemo Plague. Ulti not going to get dodged away by Razork, but now Jund coming in to cleanse everyone to free them up to try to follow up. And there's a tower between them. G2, they're going to have to navigate this fight, but it's Fnatic who are coming through clutch with the calling.
G2?
So much damage. BB and Cap's on the run. Mickey on the run as well. It's already won. They're looking to pick up a second from the side of Fnatic.
G2?
They see the play coming, and they turn it right into Dotting.
What?
So much for Vladimir. Now all of G2 looking to clap on Oscar. Razork is in the area, but I think he just needs...
Broken Blade ghosts in. And instead of just turning around and taking the turret, guys, they full commit to this. Caps gets stunned by Counter-Strike. And there's the Milio ult on Chains of Corruption. So Hansama is super vulnerable. Gets Vi ulted. Corki is now here, shooting 1 gazillion rockets and shredding everybody's armor and MR with Gatling gun. Yeah, I don't know if feeding the Corki and the Jax is the best plan. I feel like there's no way LEC made that decision by themselves. That feels like some, yeah, of course they did. They got owned by somebody in Los Angeles, for sure. By the way, special shout out though, even though I do not believe it was them who did this, special shout out to Max the X, the former LEC commissioner who got promoted, and the current LEC commissioner for saying absolutely jack shit about this on Twitter besides the classic thoughts and prayers. Even though this is their product and their responsibility, they're just like, thoughts and prayers to everyone who lost their jobs. Pathetic, these people.
Still though, yike, look at the river. Humanoid overextended.
TP back for Broken Blade. Humanoid has definitely gone too far. The entire team now looking to follow up. Humanoid caught out. Looks like Broken Blade's going to go for the kill here. Mama Morty is doing some work for Broken Blade. Humanoid has sidestepped the rocket on reaction.
Still though, yike, look at the river. Humanoid overextended.
TP back for Broken Blade. Humanoid has definitely gone too far. The entire team now looking to follow up. Humanoid caught out.
At the end of the world, it's like, what do they? It sucks, and he's overextended, but they use TP, and they just get a herald off of this. It's not too bad. There's a counterplay on the other side of the map.
Now looking to make a counter punch in the bottom lane, but it should only be a tower to Oscar in full health. They might not even get it.
Joe Marsh liked the LFN welcome back tweet. I mean, we love Joe Marsh. It's sad. It's a sad day when Joe Marsh gets off Twitter because he provides so much content for our shows on Twitter. Joe Marsh's Twitter makes me money, guys. So I want him on there.
Nice sidestep, walking away, dash back out to safety. Clean play, and now the rest of G2 ready to collapse. And Broken Blade, meanwhile, on the top lane, keep your eyes on that. Vladimir just continuing to push.
Fnatic got nothing. Caps played that beautifully. He didn't use the Shroud early, so they don't end up overcommitting onto the tower because he still has the Shroud. Even the Proto build to dodge away from the Vault Breaker. Oh, wait. Does he check the bush?
No.
All right, I forgot Europe puts the mini in mini map. So I'm always like floating in the LEC games.
I mean, apart from the earlier mess up by Mickey, you're still working out beautifully here for G2 with advantages, a 3k gold lead, 2 dragons to your name, 10 seconds until the next one. You're on reset timers here with Hextech Brotobelt now just completed for BB.
Man, I have so many questions about Lucian in the West. Like, even though it's 2 Korean players playing Lucian Milio, like, why is it that Lucian just loses every lane?
So much more access to the back line. Can help out a lot. Good news for Fnatic is that Humanoid has the package.
The thing is, though, Rift Herald, you don't even have to commit to this as G2 if you don't want to. Dragon will will be gone, but now you got to exit out the bottom side.
Riptail going to charge. Humanoid now locked up. Is he going to be able to use the pack?
The thing is, though, Rift Herald, you don't even have to commit to this as G2 if you don't want to. Dragon will be gone, but now you got to exit out the bottom side.
Hook on to humanoids, rather scary. So Jun actually just going to ult immediately. However, then he gets hit by Chain of Corruption. Nice job, actually, humanoid. Do you see how he uses this compared to Zeka? Do you see how he uses it to engage and then deal damage, then back off with his W and provide more poke? Fnatic, a much better Corki player than Zeka.
This mid lane disrupt the charge as well. The charge should go, no, won't.
Clean from Fnatic. G2 overconfident. That's a Corki with package on 14-1.
And there was no dragon. It had already gone. G2 just decided that they were going to go for the play anyway. Could have gone for the Rift Tower, could have gone for the mid lane tower, could have taken the definites. Instead, they fumble it. And now Fnatic, they're brave. They want to go in the bot lane again.
I like this. Trying to up the pace. Trying to keep this going. Broken Blade knows he doesn't have to use the pool quite yet. More healing coming in. Oscar and slowly chipping away, but if Broken Blade
Jesus.
turn this, Fnatic not able to get there quick enough. A bit of a
Doesn't even use pool, dude. That Rift Maker just stacking away during that trade.
I mean, can you blame Oscar? Though you're 2-0-3 in the Jacks. You feel like you should be strong, and that's the thing. The Rift Maker with the Omnivamp makes it so difficult for you to try and take down this Vladimir, and means that G2 now with the overcommitment get to shove out mid. They had Yike going to cover that bot side as well, so Fnatic rightfully back away from the play. But again, it means that G2 have control of side lanes, with Fnatic now trying to reset and get those pushed back out.
Did we watch the Carmine Court banger? We did. But by the way, guys, if you missed it, it's not the end of the world. You too can type !VODs and then go and subscribe to my channel where these VODs will be up in a number of hours, few hours. All the VODs on this stream. So, you know, if you miss it, it's conveniently archived for your viewing pleasure. Go subscribe.
For now, but Yakaminti immediately going to fall up on a humanoid. That could be big. Broken Blade could just start to tank the tower if he wants to. Instead, Yike is the one who's going to tank it up, though. That could just cause. There you go. Big H here on the bottom side.
A lot of over-aggression, honestly. Humanoid's having a pretty good year so far. Credit to him. This is his best split in a while.
Yike is the one who's going to tank it up, though. That could just cost him. Clean turn from Razork to keep the play going. Arrow, though, going to take out humanoid. Hemo Plague not enough to finish Razork critically.
Not enough damage there to try and finish off those low health bars.
It didn't work. Sarah Bear, well, I know you're being cheeky. You're being cheeky. But unfortunately for you, I already typed it up there, so you don't even need to type it yourself. It's just sitting there in the chat.
For the counter-strike to fade away, Oscar immediately going to ult, needs the extra resistance, get a bit of damage down on the Caps, but he's now backing off. Needs to get back over the wall if he can. But it looks like Caps is just going to go for the
Oh, played. Nice job by Caps.
Dances around the Jacks. Caps making it look easy.
I mean, beautifully.
Playing well around the Counter-Strike.
Making sure there was no way Oscar was going to escape. Even if he had the flash, just going to be able to follow with that shuriken flip. But this is a messy game. Both teams are battling heavily for control over these side lanes to make sure that they're the ones that are having it. But neither side really coming out on top.
I mean, we're keeping steady at a kill per minute. 21 minutes into the game, 21 kills on the board, 1.2k gold difference between these lineups. Very small differences. Broken Blade really the only one with a significant advantage over his lane opponent.
But the problem is you can try and push out his BB, but we kind of see that.
Thank you, Mando Mars, for your resubscription with Prime. I appreciate you. We will get more value for you. We're slowly leveling up the stream, guys. We're slowly leveling up this stream. We now have sub badges. We're getting there. We'll have more emotes soon. Do I think Caps is at the level of a Korean mid? He has been in the past. Right now, no. He's good.
Outside of the Varus poke, relatively short range. If they are able
But
to get on top of
he's having a very good game this game, for sure.
for Noah in some situations to play out these fights,
But he definitely has been there in the past, and he has demonstrated that, right? At his peak, absolutely.
He really needs Noah to step up alongside him if they're going to find
Vikla is a Korean mid. He means a good one. I mean, Zeka's a Korean mid. I watched him do unspeakable things on Corki at the start of this stream.
honestly going to be able to match a lot of what Han Sama is putting down as well, because you just get those little puddles that exist and just burn away your health bar.
It's also just
Who's the best NA mid? Well, that's easy. JoJo.
you got the whole
And
chain,
top?
people know it's coming. Forky
I don't
right?
know if I've watched enough NA
Fire, look at, he's got
all
six
around
kills.
NA games to have an opinion on that one.
Caps will walk up.
Top is not a strong position in NA.
Both
Unfortunately.
hiding in a brush. Cap still fishing for a play, but G2 moving into the bottom side of the map. Goes over the wall, just wants to try to take Humanoid
This
out.
is perfect second monitor viewing. Good.
And again, ulti coming
Someday
through.
I'll graduate to primary monitor viewing, guys.
Safety Caps going golden Caps.
I've gone up. I was told initially that I was grade third monitor viewing. I moved up to second.
Cap still fishing for a play, but G2 moving into the bottom side.
We'll get up to number 1 soon. Caps actually just comes in with the proto belt.
More Q dashes in again. Ulti coming through. Q ult 2 is it going to be enough? Humanoid trying to flash to safety. Caps going golden Caps.
Flash, flash.
Ooh,
Good.
sexy.
Clean finish, photo finish. Zanya's in the animation just to make it look good.
You're on my only monitor? Hell yeah.
That was sick. I mean, Caps is feeling himself, but Mickey may not be.
Yeah, Mickey now caught out. No, instantly. Just look at the damage coming in from Lucian. That's what you want to see, but G2 are already on the objective. Oscar, is he going to jump into the pit? Instead, pings on the top side of the map. Fnatic trying to get control elsewhere. So as a kill
You're a primary monitor viewing in 2014. Oh man, how far I've fallen.
Yeah,
I got demoted. I got demoted to second monitor. Poor Monty.
He's going for this Bloodsong Nautilus, which in theory does a
This is easily Caps' best game in ages. Don't let that distract you guys from the fact he has been shit this split. He hasn't been great.
But this is such a sick.
So it looks like I'm just judging the LEC production. It looks like they're still able to pull files from the player's first person on their computer. So this is, you know, Caps' perspective.
Trying to predict it there as Humanoid, but manages to get the kill right beside the wall, perfectly set up.
Nice
That
time to
was
have a red
impressive.
buff as an Akali. And of course, he did see, I believe, Humanoid earlier auto attack the wave and then go back to the bush. So he wasn't sure if he was still there, but he did see him at
Thank you, Steak Lord, for your Prime subscription. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Caps everywhere on the map. He hits the shuriken flip, and Oscar's got nowhere to go. Caps on a rampage in this game.
No monitor, just Bluetooth headphones while I pass out. How are you typing then?
Fnatic can do. They're not winning out on the push now from BB as he's starting to crest over. Looks like he might actually end up going for the void bloom as well.
The LEC production was actually better than usual. I think you just mean that there were fewer delays. It's definitely not better as a product.
And G2 now, they're feeling it.
Why aren't you an LCK broadcaster anymore? Because Riot sucks a dong, and I refuse to work for them because I don't work with people like that, you know? I don't work with people who don't pay me and wage fix in a monopoly, and, you know, I'd like to be able to, like, feed my family and shit. So I choose no. I choose money. Thank you, Silent Symphony.
Razork now stepping in. G2 need to be ready to turn this fight. Razork going in. Mickey should just get taken out, but package is now gone. Is this G2's
I choose not being Riot's bitch until the end of time. How about that? I like to do things my way. What is Razork doing? Why are we hard engaging here? Like, why are we overextending here if we're Fnatic? Like, we don't actually need to chase this, right? You do have package up, but just go ahead and chase them off. Like, chase them off and just push up this way. Did OGM pay fairly? Yeah, they were fine. Especially at the time, you know? No, my working relationship with OGM was great.
Razork now stepping in. G2 need to be ready to turn this fight. Razork going in. Mickey should just get taken out, but package is now gone. Is this G2's opportunity to turn Mickey taken out? Nothing gets done here. Razork in the backline also gets dropped, though. Mickey's still standing for a brief moment and broke.
But there's absolutely no reason to play this far in and basically just get zoned out by Vladimir and Jinold. Like, just take the advantages that you have, catch back up in gold, shove them off Baron, take mid turret. You might be able to take tier 2 there. Who knows?
And getting that package is huge. You get the TP out from Fnatic
Yeah, Razork goes way too far here. I mean, they all do. Like, the call can't be to, like, use TP in this way either. Why are we using TP? Why are we using TP? You can just walk up and take at least tier 1 in both of these lanes, push them off. What a wasted opportunity. You can't get too horny with Corky's package. You guys know what I mean? Sometimes, like, the win is just to use your package to scare people. You don't have to go, like, all the way in.
Even though the numbers look good, the results still favoring G2. They did stop the Baron at the very least. At least slow G2 down. I think G2 very slow Baron. Don't have anyone really with a lot of attack speed. It's usually the key more often than not. These on-hit builds to take Baron down quickly. We'll see if they try.
There's a lot of life lessons in that. My wife says that a lot. See?
Especially with Oscar and down. Because now you got 2 TPs burned. You're going to have BB's TP back up right before Oscar and Humanoid are. And you still have that for Caps. So
Does my wife still work in esports? No.
Just push that advantage a little bit further. The biggest problem for them is that there's just kind of a stalemate in mid lane where no enhans would just keep ping-ponging the wave. So you kind of need Caps to shove out topside to then look to group and put pressure on towards mid. But even then, that's kind of tough with the way the map is set up at the moment.
Yeah, and I think it's really tough for Humanoid to walk up to the wave at all. Obviously, the poke damage is great, but you can see Caps now. I mean, he hits like a truck. The Mob Warrior is just not going to be enough in the 1v1 to stop Caps from going for the all-in and burning out. You know, if you take his Corky's flash away, it makes the next fight so easy. There's a Nautilus on the opposite side, the point and click, reliable in those exchanges.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem here is kind of there's a bit of a stalemate on both sides, right? Talk about Caps not being able to push in, but if you try and push, oh, hang on, hold on. BB?
Breathplay getting chunked out, ulti coming in from Oscar and Razork on the way down, a bit more healing.
Oh my god. What the fuck, man? What is this? Just the Vlad ult things, by the way.
Caps not being able to push in, but if you try and push, hold on.
Breathplay getting chunked out, ulti coming in from Oscar
So
and Razork
dumb.
on the way down, a bit more
Look at this.
healing. The ulti
Eels for 700.
gonna proc as well and heal him up for another 700 HP. Do they have the burst damage to kill the Vladimir? It certainly looks like it'll be
They finally got him, though.
down in the bottom lane. BB taken out. G2 instantly looking towards the Baron.
Yeah, but again, they don't really have the damage to try and take it, so they're just going to look for the tier 2 instead. And G2 looking to scramble, but nice pick from Fnatic. And here we go. Humanoid could be able to just clear this out. That's what I was about to say for Caps. You can't really push onto the tower because of that wave clear from Humanoid. Fnatic know it. They're now on mid. G2 aren't in position to defend. And that's a pick and a tower.
Negatron Cloak actually doing a lot of work for the Jacks, though, now.
Actually, Fnatic who get the first tier 1 tower of the game. Razor continuing to walk forward. Mickey's got no damage behind him, so Noah's safe. That knockup just doesn't mean a damn thing. Mickey's going to fall here. Should be no way he gets out of this one. Hansam and Yike just backing away, but Caps again looking for the 1v1, and he will
Okay.
find it against Oscar. Dominating, but the rest, that knockup just does
Immediately for Fnatic.
Yeah, despite the goal discrepancy, it's actually Fnatic who get the first
Akali just TPs over.
tier 1 tower of the game. Razor continues
Oscarinen doesn't back off. Takes a terrible trade, apparently, that whole time.
doesn't mean a damn thing. Mickey's going to fall here. Should be no way he gets out of this one. Hansam and Yike just backing away, but Caps again looking for the 1v1, and he will find it against Oscar. Dominating, but the rest of Fnatic, what can they do? It is soul point for G2. They cannot afford to give up this objective. It should just be a free Drake, but Caps is still lurking, lingering in the darkness, threatening to take this fight. TP now coming in from BB.
Caps didn't use his ult in the last fight as well, so he's still a massive threat as they come in. Humanoid trying to land the poke down.
Walking in, they just want to bully in. They want this Cloud Soul. Ulti cooldown is so massive here if they're able to grab it. Broken Blade getting chunked out by the Coling, though. That's big. Caps trying to find the angle. They're just trying to take the jungler down before they commit any further to the objective. Big burst coming in. Caps right into the backside. Hansama doesn't really have great follow-up here. Noah still standing strong, peeling back beautifully, but it's all on Caps now to turn the
All right, so let's talk about this sequence of play and what's happening, right?
From Fnatic, and here we go. Humanoid could be able to just
So you take out Broken Blade in the top lane. You know that he still has TP available. Oscarinen's TP is almost up. You're trying to chunk them out here. You see Akali using TP right now. Now, instead of just trying to back off, because remember, he is standing there. He is standing there watching Akali TP onto this minion wave. That's what he's doing. And remember that you've already pushed the wave. This soul is coming up. This guy has 25 seconds and TP available. So why are we not just fucking off and then trying to control Drake? You already have the minion wave pressure. do you like want to give them Cloud Soul?
Continuing to walk forward. Mickey's got no damage behind him, so Noah's safe. That knockup just doesn't mean a damn thing. Mickey's gonna fall here. Should be no way he
And
gets out of this one.
with Mickey X dying, you would have set up a potential like 5v3 or 5v4 with the Vladimir at the start. Now instead you just don't have your Jacks.
The rest of Fnatic, what can they do? It is soul point for G2. They cannot afford to give up this objective. It should just be a free Drake.
So 3, 2, 1. Now he has TP. Now it's a 4v4.
TP now coming in from BB.
Except who cares about Nautilus? Because they actually have a massive top laner who's going to have ult up in a second.
Trying to land the poke down.
Walking in, they just want to bully in. They want this Cloud Soul.
He's got ult up now. Cast it on cooldown.
Broken Blade getting chunked out by the Coling, though. That's big. Caps trying to find the angle. They're just trying to take the jump.
800 heal.
Any further to the objective. Big burst coming in. Caps right into the backside. Hunt Summit doesn't really have great follow up here. Noah still standing strong, peeling back beautifully, but it's all on.
Still have Jhin ult.
By Noah, 1,000 gold shutdown. Hunt Summit needs to connect on these arrows. Noah playing on the edge here. The cozy campfire, not nearly cozy enough. Jun now retreating, and G2 have taken the Cloud Soul.
Caps able to get into the backline. Disrupt.
Hey guys, I don't know. Is Vlad good with Cloud Soul? Is Jhin good with Cloud Soul? Is Akali good with Cloud Soul? Is Nautilus good with Cloud Soul? Is Varus good with Cloud Soul? I don't know.
Game has been neck and neck, but it is Capstan getting so many.
Are these champs good with Cloud Soul?
On humanoid, he is the one that's allowed G2 to pull ahead in this game.
Everybody loves,
Both had great moments.
Vlad with Cloud Soul, right? Where he just like ults you and then just sticks in the middle of your composition, just AoE healing until the end of time.
Two matchup. One's on Fnatic side now on the G2. It feels like
Nautilus, after he just ults, he just runs around and autos you one by one.
to find that same impact. The Corki is there. He is trying his damnedest. Like that's not to try and take
Get me out, dude. I can't believe Fnatic did this. Like, they fumbled the W. They were holding the W, and all Oscarinen had to do was just fucking leave when Caps was TPing onto the minion wave.
well around his ult timing. Noah will get the 1,000 gold shutdown, which might help out a bit. But the rest of G2 are able to push them out with Yike playing on that forefront.
And the 1,000 gold shutdown is very big for Noah and very big for Fnatic, but is it enough is the question, because you give up Cloud Soul for that shutdown, more or less. The reaction.
Roman's reactions are my favorite part about G2. This man is on an emotional roller coaster every single time.
Backstage, like, am I glad?
Am I happy? Did we do it? Is it good? Well, Mickey wants to see if he can make good on the last plays. Hasn't exactly. Has the Kane of Brooker. Does this now make the difference in the matchup?
31 minutes, and we finished a Mob Malmortius because of Caps' play for Humanoid rather than getting Eclipse. Oh, man.
Yeah. Someone shut that down. That's fair. All right. Here's the thing. No one has any healing reduction, which seems highly questionable in this particular game, given there's a Vladimir and a Lucian who's about to finish Bloodthirster. I feel like someone should invest in that.
Especially since like Morello Nomicon is actually just
Like a good
Also, Jin Zhao.
To be fair to Fnatic,
Don't be sleeping on that Jin Zhao healing either. That shit's really annoying.
I mean, you can't really get on Melio anymore with Kevin Future for a lot. So
yeah. I mean, you can just buy the curse word, but it's not, it's not super ideal.
Look how easy it is for Fnatic for Oscar and just to walk away from Akali.
a reminder, maybe.
One wonders why he couldn't do that before giving up Soul.
Tough call. Thomas just walking up fearlessly. That poke is disgusting. Cozy campfire there. Jun ready to back his teammates up with the Baron buff backing them up. G2, easy push here on the top side to break down the tier 2s. Splitting up the entire map, ready to play on 3 lanes. I mean, that is the power of this Akali and Vladimir. It's so tough.
He doesn't have Sundered Sky. That's true.
Really have kill threats.
It's slightly worse.
Facing them in isolation. G2 going to break yet another tier 2. I imagine Fnatic are going to mount a bit of a stronger defense for the base.
I don't really know if there's much that you can really. Well, Mickey doesn't escape. Maybe you can get onto him, but I don't think there's very much you can do here as Fnatic. You're kind of trying to push G2 away from all of the lanes, but you're not winning out in the 1v1 when Oscarinen versus Caps.
Will English only be fine? Yeah, you'll be fine. All the subways and stuff are in English.
You kind of need that moment.
You can struggle through, especially if you're in Seoul. It'll be all right.
They're afraid to pull the trigger without Caps really showing on a wave. Like you can see here, he's hovering off of the wave until he spots where the rest of G2 are.
I will say, though, that we finally hit the point for Fnatic where Noah is a very big...
It's not like Japan where nothing is in. And also, just in general, guys, traveling is so much easier and being in Korea is so much easier because Google Translate like works on your camera. So if you have any trouble reading anything, just point your phone at it. It just translates it for you. It's amazing.
But you have an art sensor.
And you can just type things into Google Translate if people don't understand, and it'll just write it in Korean for you. So I don't really understand what the issue is. Like, it's actually super easy to travel now. You know, 5 years ago it would have been a different story, but it's just so easy now.
Some sort of armor pen at this stage, because you're looking towards like the frozen heart now coming.
Like, you can literally use Google Translate to read menus, streets, anything, the text, things on screens. It's so easy. What if you don't have a Korean SIM card? Well, just get one at the airport. There are literally booths at the airport for like KT and SK Telecom, and they will get you a Korean SIM card. It's so easy.
Honestly, if you fight in these corridors as G2, I think you're just opening up for Noah to have a field day with the culling. So I think trying to play for in around like choke points like this is going to be a much better opportunity here, where you can spread out as G2 around that choke as Fnatic try to enter into river.
And you can see that G2 have
Is the beer good in Korea? No, but it's getting better. There are more craft beers and stuff now, but the average beer is dog shit. And soju is also dog shit.
Gone on the opposite side. It's very easy to step up and push this wave out without overextending or overcommitting. G2 first to the play. They have the vision set up. They can play around the choke as you highlighted. Fnatic have to be careful about how they approach, so it looks like they are just going to be fighting for mid lane priority, trying to find a wide
It's like Japanese beer, but worse.
from.
You know, it's like if Kirin was bad.
This is the thing, when you're trying to get through this Fnatic, you get G2 with a really nice concave set up there. Hansama's going to be able to put a bunch of damage down. BB can even threaten on a flank coming in from, say, the top side here, as the rest of G2 are all pushing in through here. It makes it very, very difficult for you to try and break this as Fnatic.
Shobes.
You have to get this
Even in 2016, I was speaking to my subcontractors through Google Translate. The voice and language recognition works so well. That's great.
with everyone on
Yeah, I know. But
They wanna make sure
I guess
they're
in
able to get control of
it
the
wasn't so good in Korean when I lived here,
Ballbreaker threat
but
now.
it's super good now.
The cozy campfire, spotting out Caps. Mark. Noah is decent, but the follow-up damage not there. Malignant's poke, okay, but again, just the arrows coming in. The piercing arrow, Jun locked up. Broken Blade coming in on the flank. The Vladimir damage is going to be massive, but Razork instantly tries to shut him down. They watch. But the follow-up damage not there. Malignant's poke, okay, but again, just the arrows coming in. The piercing arrow, Jun locked up.
I like how Broken Blade goes in for the flank here and just gets instantly CC'd. Q Alt R, so before he could actually do anything.
That is clutch from Razork.
Good reaction from Fnatic.
Noah feels like he can just take over the fight, but it is Yike who jumps in. And it's
Yikes,
Noah
zoning.
over
Huge, huge. Gets Humanoid out of the fight.
finding another one. Caps finding a shutdown. Noah running, trying
It's actually a very fun game to watch. It's been kind of stupid, but
standing strong. Yike ready to recommit. Noah trying to get away from the Zen, but the frozen heart is just too much. The life steal
W?
is not enough. One more
Oh,
auto
just
will
gets
do
an
it.
auto.
Yike on a killing spree. G2 taking the fight.
amazing fight coming through from G2. 2,000 kills for Caps off the back of that as well. And what started off so well for Fnatic finished impressively so for G2.
finally Kriyavu, who doesn't pretend that soju is his God gives. Dude, soju is trash.
Here the contest coming in.
It is shit rice vodka that tastes like chemicals that is made for as cheap as possible and then cut to 20% alcohol level, slapped in a bottle, and sold for $1.50 in Korea. It is shit. Guys, it is actually the shittest shit you can drink. It's intentionally the cheapest garbage ever.
Could be everything. 2,000 kills for Caps, but will it be a win? Razor going right back
That said, I still drink it with beer at meal.
over. Yike over as well. Okay. Objective getting lower. Hansama getting chunked down. These rockets from Corki starting to hurt. G2 have to walk away, but they also have to stick around to make sure that this resets. Luckily, G2 can walk away. The objective resets. They can reset the fight, but Yike now stepping up. Bit questionable. There's TP coming in on the flank. TP from Fnatic as well. Fnatic now backing away. 6K, 5K. G2 still have priority access on the objective, but they want the fight. Humanoid getting cut down. Caps ready to keep this train rolling. 2,000 not enough. He wants to get 2001, but in the meantime, Broken Blade coming in. Double kill. Noah now backing away. Coling now coming out. Mickey on the backside already taken down. Oscar and Razor trying to tag team their way through this fight. Noah
We're just
still
gonna chase
there.
Noah down this turret.
The Lucian starting to take over the
Noah actually doing a good job on the Lucian. Not in lane, but afterwards.
matchups, and now it is Yike who has to run. Noah who just trying to tag team their way.
Meanwhile, guys, Hansama just taking the rest of the Elder Drake while his team derps around forever.
That's the power of these short-range matchups, and now it is Yike who has to run. Noah who just has to respect the win becomes.
Oh!
But it does
Nice job from Yike. Gets the WE down.
Through and Yike just keeps going.
He needs to keep running though. He needs to
W?
stay away. Will be
Okay, he got the
close.
slow.
There's the cue. There's the point
Ah.
down.
Down.
Hands finishing off that Elder Dragon at the back was huge for G2 in that one, but my God, what are these team fights, Trencos?
This day is crazy. What the heck? Cap sitting on 2,000 kills. Banger back and forth. Credit to Noah. Again, you know, you need him to take over in some of these fights. He's not going for armor pen. He's going for more attacks, but he just wants to survive.
What up, Makali? Makali is the real Korean alcohol, by the way. That's the real shit.
I mean, Fnatic are already running for the hills.
And I'm not talking about the Makali that you get that is like filled with aspartame. I mean like the local Makalis that you can get. That's some of those are really good. Makali is the actual like artisanal Korean drink.
Back to life, back to life, Baron. We don't have time to look back. We only look
Elder
forward.
Dragon.
All right. Baron now started. Caps just jumping into the pit pretty fearlessly. Mickey stepping up as well. Caps just going to try to jump in and finish off Humanoid. Caps going gold on the rest of the team now on the collapse. Johnson on touch of the backside. Broken Blade stepping in. Oh my God.
Why are we doing this with Elder up? What?
This is the second team fight where he followed through, and the second that Humanoid's taken out, they kind of got to run to the hills, but this is where it turns. Noah coming in very aggressively. So BB and Yike are brought down. Oscarden jumps onto Mickey in the backside.
Now we're
But
speeding
now we're
So because Jin is dead, we are going to attempt a Baron play. Now, keep in mind that this is still a really winnable game for Fnatic. I mean, it's going to be hard because they don't have Cloud Soul. But you don't have Lucian here, so you can't take this super quickly. Remember, Lucian died just slightly before Yike did. And you're trying to play into a bunch of poke damage from Lethality Varus that absolutely can proc Elder Dragon. And an Akali with burst damage. And also a Vladimir. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Pop, 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 pop. That's a choice, guys. I mean, they were probably going to lose, let's be honest, but I think you don't have any inhibitors down. I think, like, you're concerned, obviously, that then when they respawn, they're going to immediately go for Baron. But I still think the better fight is to fight them when they're tanking Baron rather than try and rush it yourself. Like, I think I Hail Mary while they're in the Baron pit rather than when I'm in the Baron pit. That's just me.
Rival continues, and they're taking their time. Finally, we'll end this one.